Hi guys, how are you? It's time for True Crime Tuesday once again. This story is very relevant to us all. Why do I say this? Guys, this story focuses on mental illness big time. In this day and age where a lot of people are suffering from depression and other mental illnesses, we need to be able to reach out and try and help those around us who are sad, upset, lonely, and are kind of losing interest in their lives. We can help them if we are aware of the symptoms and direct these people to where they can get some effective psychiatric help. By being aware of how people around us, our loved ones, even our acquaintances act, we could perhaps help them from falling into the rabbit hole of depression and going down a dark and dangerous path all alone, leading some of them to even committing acts of violence on others or taking their own lives. Guys, this story is about a brutal killing and a suicide that took place at Harvard College in 1995. Ethiopian female student Sinedu Tadesse, who was 20 years old in 1995 and was heavily focused on her studies. She had no social life in Ethiopia as a kid, as her father had been arrested due to the turbulent activities that were going on in Ethiopia at the time. Take a look.
The army, which set off the present crisis with a mutiny that forced out the old prime minister.
These are the moments when Ethiopia's kingdom came to an end. In February 1974, the Ethiopian military rose up in revolt. By September, they deposed the Emperor Haile Selassie. It was a coup that brought to an end one of the world's oldest continuous kingdoms.
Gave it its first written constitution. Realizing that times must change, he has decreed constitutional reforms be made, apparently with a view toward making Ethiopia a constitution.
Haile Selassie was the last emperor of a dynasty that claimed it could trace its roots back thousands of years.
And orderly.
Sinedu Tadesse gained admission to the prestigious International Community School, where she graduated as valedictorian and was admitted to Harvard. At Harvard, Tadesse maintained a B grade average, too low for admittance to Harvard Medical School, but likely high enough to get into other good medical schools. Sinedu Tadesse was emotionally very needy and sad and lonely, and is reported to have pleaded with many people to become her friend. Did anyone pay attention to her sadness? Call for help on her behalf? Apparently no one did. Born on the 25th of September, this very focused and bright student was, as I said, lonely, sad, and had fallen into a dark hole of depression, where she was obsessively looking for companionship and acceptance and friendship, and felt she was ostracized by society. She was desperate for acceptance. I read somewhere that she sent letters to dozens of strangers that she picked up from the phone book, describing her unhappiness and pleading with them to be her friend. A woman who had responded to a letter by Tadesse became alarmed by the bizarre writings and recordings Tadesse had sent to her, and this terrified woman made no further contact with Tadesse. Guys, clearly there was something terribly wrong. Sinedu Tadesse should have been given some help. This pain could have been addressed through psychiatric help, and the young woman could have been saved, but this did not happen. Another woman who found a letter sent to her by Sinedu Tadesse obnoxious and was shocked by it, and she sent it to a friend who worked at Harvard to review. The outcome? We would think someone would have probed into this issue and opened a pathway for this disturbed young woman to get some help. Did it happen? Apparently not. Let's find out a bit more about the Harvard College life of Tadesse. She had a lovely roommate, a young Vietnamese woman by the name of Trang Ho, who was apparently very popular at college. That is the beautiful Trang Ho. Tadesse was said to be obsessively fond of Trang Ho, and Tadesse was off-puttingly needy in her demands for attention, and it is obvious that she was mentally very ill at the time. Trang Ho felt stifled with the attention given to her by Tadesse. Due to the pressure and the unwarranted fondness and Sinedu Tadesse's expectations on her, Trang Ho felt very uncomfortable and thought she needed to distance herself from this unbalanced roommate. Trang Ho had decided to leave the campus and travel to her classes from her parents' home or to room with another group of girls in their senior year. Tadesse apparently reacted with total despair when Trang Ho had announced her decision to leave. Tadesse Sinedu could not cope with this, and she probably felt that she was being abandoned, jilted, cast aside. Guys, she obviously took the news very badly. The question is, why was Sinedu Tadesse never offered opportunities for psychiatric help? Things started going downhill rapidly from the day of Trang Ho's announcement, and the two young women stopped talking to each other. Tadesse purchased 2 knives and some rope, and she sent a photograph of herself with an anonymous note to the Harvard Crimson saying, "Keep this picture. There will be a very juicy story involving this woman." Take a look. She took one final exam but decided to apply for medical exemption for the other exams. She had a brunch date with a fellow Ethiopian student who later said he felt that she was kind of saying goodbye to him. Again, guys, I am frustrated that no one reached out to award an opportunity for psychiatric help for this lonely, very disturbed young woman. It was May 28, 1995. Sinedu Tadesse stabbed her roommate Trang Ho 45 times with a hunting knife. Yes, 45 times. In such a frenzy that even the most seasoned police officers felt sick to the stomach when they saw Trang Ho's body. Tadesse also attacked one of Trang Ho's visiting friends, 26-year-old Thao Nguyen, severely injuring her as well. Tadesse then hanged herself in the bathroom. Tadesse was buried at the Ethiopian Orthodox Cemetery in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Guys, it's clear that this young woman with mental health issues got into the very depths of misery as a result of her situation being exacerbated by unsympathetic people around her, ignorant and cold-hearted university officials, and ineffective advisors. If Sinedu Tadesse was given the help she needed, this horribly sad narrative could have had a different ending. She could have been saved. Trang Ho would be alive today. Coming at this from a theological point of view, I would like to say that every religion condemns suicide as a mortal sin. Generations of Catholics have been raised to believe that suicide is one of the greatest sins a person can commit. And many Catholics even today still fear that a loved one who dies by suicide is bound to spend eternity in hell. In Hinduism, we see straightforward condemnation of suicide, asserting that the next rebirth of one who commits suicide will be an unpleasant, hellish state. Buddhism says a person who opts for death believing it to be the solution to suffering has fundamentally misunderstood the teachings of the Buddha. Suicide, Buddhist teachings assert, is a negative act and should be avoided at all costs. Guys, when we look at the murder of Trang Ho and the suicide of Tadesse, we need to realize that the urge to live is very human, but so is the desire to stop the pain. Tadesse saw no hope. She was probably stifled by her thoughts of being lonely, and many have seen the murder of Trang Ho and the suicide as the only option Tadesse saw to make the pain go away. Maybe she even spent a lot of time questioning her decision even agonizing over her decision. However, again my question is, why was she left alone to agonize and suffer in her dark hole of mental torment? She should have been given opportunities for effective psychiatric help, don't you agree? I've given information in the description box below about how to seek help to save someone from suicide. Also, some helpful contacts would be Suicide Callback Service 1300-659-467, www.suicidecallbackservice.org.au. Beyond Blue Support Service 1300-224636, www.beyondblue.org.au. The website of the US National Suicide Prevention Lifeline also provides valuable information on the subject of saving someone from taking their own life. That's it from me tonight. Bye-bye.